Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Oh, my goodness. My bad, y'all. I was a little bit late because it's freezing out. My hands are freezing and I had to get everything going. So, what's going on? Today is Thursday and I am all off center. Pardon me, y'all. It's freezing out. I don't understand. Well, it is cold. It's a freeze warning. So, yeah, it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit, y'all. And yeah, it's a bit chilly. All right. So you're probably looking at the title of this, and I didn't get to do all the bells and whistles, but I'll do that afterwards. I want to make sure I have a thumbs up that I am audible because yesterday I started and the first couple of minutes I was inaudible. So that's a problem. So I just want to make sure all of my things are effective. So just give me one moment so I can test to make sure. And we are live and I am audible. Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us today. Today we are at Thursday, October 9th. I'm a little bit concerned, but all in all is good. All right. So surrender. What does that mean to you? A lot of individuals look at life as a bit of a challenge. A lot of individuals look at life as you have to grind and work hard and all the things. It's a constant uphill battle. But I'm here to tell you otherwise. I'm here to bust the myth, if you will. Yes, it's important to work hard, but it's another to work smarter as opposed to harder. Yes, life can be a roller coaster as we go through the different events of emotions, of highs and lows, but that's what makes us human. But when we surrender and we put up that white flag, how many of y'all think that is a sign of weakness that we shouldn't surrender? How many of y'all think that if I surrender, everything's over? What if we made the conscious decision to no longer take control of everything that is in our lives? What if we make the conscious effort, if you will, to say, I'm done fighting. I'm done fighting. I'm done, sorry, I have something in my eye. I'm done fighting. I'm exhausted of just constantly fighting these battles. These battles with my family, these battles with my friends, these battles with society, my authoritative figures, my employers. But most importantly, what if we surrendered and said, I am done fighting within myself? Think about that for a moment. We're constantly on this mission to live the perfect life, have the finer things in life, and do what we need to do. What if we surrendered and we just settled in knowing and trusting the process and, having faith that everything's going to work out? Now, notice I said surrender as opposed to quitting. I'm not talking about throwing your hands up and just saying, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm tapped out. I'm talking about the conscious effort of just surrendering and saying, I want to be at peace within myself. I want to have peace in my heart. I want to have peace knowing that things are going to be all right. I want to have peace that I'm being the best version of myself. What if we did that? Good morning, Comfort. How are you? What if we made the conscious decision to say, I am no longer going to control everything in my life. I'm going to find and understand and reawaken and igniting the flame to have peace. And peace can be defined in a variety of different ways. Peace is knowing that I don't have to control and micromanage the world, that my only concern is of my personal and inner being, well-being. Peace can be an opportunity for you to look at your life through the microscope and say, I'm fighting. I don't want to have conflict anymore. Conflict of the ego, the superego, the external world. Putting up that white flag saying, I surrender and trust and have faith. Everything is going to work out. We have this notion, especially in America, that we have to do our best, we have to grind, and we have to be perfect. That's a false limiting belief. Because when we raise the bar for high expectations, we get disappointed every single time. When we aren't celebrating our wins and just constantly running towards the finish line, we're not enjoying life. When we are taking the moment to make the cognitive transformational shift of emotional intelligence and emotional balance, that is the opportunity and choice we have at every single moment, any given moment. Surrender. Stop fighting. When we look at, history, right? And we look at the different wars and conflicts of the world across the borders, across the waters, or even amongst people themselves. We lose track and focus of what we're really fighting for, what we're really angry about, what we're really frustrated about. And I'm guilty of this. I'll be the first one to let you know. When I get upset, what happens? I pull out all the receipts. I pull out all the things that get me frustrated. And I'm going to just take shot after shot after shot. And I lose track of problem solving, finding a solution, and focusing on winning. What if we had that mindset of let's come together and find a solution? Let's surrender, put down our weapons, and come together collectively to find a solution. I want you to look at your relationships. It's cold in here, out here. I want you to look at your relationships. I want you to look at your connections. I want to look at your family, your business, and within. There are silent battles that we are fighting that no one knows about. There are silent struggles that nobody has even learned or were aware of that we are dealing with in our own minds. Sure, we can confide in our spouse, our family members, our friends, and tell them, but nobody's in here keeping track, keeping tally of all the thoughts that go into our mind. My friend Woody Woodpecker's back. What if we took the moment and said, white flag, I'm surrendering. I'm no longer going to fight this battle. I put up a post a couple of months back, weeks back, years back, whatever. I'll include it in the comments below when this is uploaded. And it's talking, and it depicts an image of a young girl that is climbing a mountain with millions of swords, arrows stabbed in her back. And she constantly is fighting, constantly is fighting, constantly is fighting. And the arrows are just piling up and piling up. What if we took a moment, surrendered, removed those arrows, and said, I'm no longer fighting. I'm no longer going to be a target. I'm no longer going to be a victim of circumstance, of others. I just want peace. I just want healing. I just want transformational growth. Take this time to surrender to your belief system, to the universe, to the vortex, to your higher self, whatever your creed is. Surrender and trust the process. And believe that life is working for you and not to you. It's reminding me of the battles that I've fought, where I would bark back, I would bite back, I would fight when I was getting bullied, when I was getting abused, that I would fight. And what would happen? It would get harder and harder. It would hurt more and more. I don't know if you've ever been in a physical fight. I wish you haven't. But when you're going against the grain, the pressure is that much more intense. The pressure is so painful. So I'm saying, what if we turn that pain into purpose? What if we took the initiative to say, you know what? I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to collect my thoughts. I'm going to take the initiative and take the high road. And I'm going to surrender. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to survive anymore. This is the survival mode that we're in. Constant reaction. I'm done surviving. I want to thrive. This is what I've been experiencing and kind of noodling, what they say, in your mind of what do I have to do to ease the pain? What do I have to do to quiet the noise? What do I have to do to stop the tears? What do I have to do to break myself from being fearful? What do I have to do to stop this suffering? For some of you, you may argue that suffering is not a choice. Well, I didn't believe that either. Why would I want to choose to suffer? Why would I want to be in pain? Why would I want to stay here? It's unsettling. I'm here to tell you to take action. Take action today and say, you know what? I'm done fighting. I'm going to believe and trust the process as the sun is rising behind me. I'm going to put my faith in a higher level. And I'm going to heal from within. Remember, if we don't heal, we're not feeling. We just become numb. I've been there. I've shut out the world and said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with everyone. This is how it's going to be, whatever. But that wasn't healthy either. I'm picking myself up from my bootstraps, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm realizing that the more I turn towards resistance, the more pain I endure, the heartache, the hardship, the aching, the sorrow. But now I'm turning my pain into purpose. I'm realizing that this fight is no longer needed to be, I don't need to be on the front line anymore. I don't need to strain myself, wear myself out, exhaust my energy, exhaust my emotions, and neither do you. What's the point in fighting if you're only failing? Now, don't get me wrong. I know some of the comments on the playbacks and on YouTube when this is on the, uploaded on YouTube afterwards because it's expired after 30 days on Facebook. Andrea, how could you just tell me to stop fighting? I'm not telling you to stop fighting. I'm telling you to surrender, to let go. Let go and find peace within your heart. Still make the efforts to get to the next level. Still take the initiative to move forward. They say choose your battles. When you're hurt, when you're in pain, you're on the reactive mode to just be on the constant defense. And so I'm here to say, let's take a moment and define for ourselves, what does protecting our peace mean to us? What does emotional intelligence mean to us? What does balance mean to us? If we keep on fighting, we're losing energy. Live to fight another day, they say. What if we went from resistance to resilience? What if we looked at the glass half full and say, you know what? I've made it here. To live another day, I've already won. I had conversation the past 24, 48 hours with two individuals. And their message of my interpretation was that we've had so many lifetimes already that our greatest gift right now is to be human. And what are the components of being human? Making mistakes, acting out the life that you choose to live, to lead. Why are we fighting? What was the most positive result of any war or any battle? Why don't we find a solution? Why don't we find a resolution? Why don't we, create a revolution of solving the problems and coming together in unity? I'll share a quick example. I perceived, and you'll understand why I said that, I was under the notion that I was not getting along with a family of member of mine. Now, you can't choose your family. Your family is part of your life. And I was under the other notion that we were just constantly butt heads. And I didn't know what way to address it. Does it sound like you, somebody in your life that you can't escape, that you never get along with, that no matter what you do, it's not right? No matter what you say, they're not going to listen. They ask for help. They don't receive it. The whole kit and caboodle. I haven't said that in a couple of days. And so what I said is, this is not worth it. Another family member said, Andrea, you're carrying this load, this weight for so long, where that individual could care less or doesn't even recall the situation or what the reason you're butting heads for. And I said, well, what if I decided to turn my perspective and change my channel? I use that in my line of work. And I changed my channel and I said, you know what? I'm not here to create, cause, or control people. If you're familiar, that's something that we were taught in social work and psychology in AA. You can't cause, control, or cure someone. They have to have the free will and opportunity to do it themselves, right? And I said, all right, Well, let me change my channel. And if they weren't positive or favorable to me, what is something that they've done in my presence for me that was positive? Ladies and gentlemen, this was a game changer. I am now closer to that person than I've ever thought I would ever be in a lifetime, because I didn't take it personal. I didn't make assumptions. I was impeccable with my word, and I did my best. 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. And I shifted their image in a more positive light. I was done fighting. I was like, why? This is not healthy for either of us. And we're just getting angrier, and we're more getting, our relationship is being estranged, and we're getting farther and farther from each other. Now we're like the best of friends. Ask yourself today, take the initiative to press play and say, what battles that I'm facing right now, whether it's with others, society, culture, religion, community, myself, that are not worth fighting for? What if I put up the white flag, surrendered, and said, I'm going to take personal inventory. I'm going to take a personal assessment, and I'm going to leave it up to my belief system. I'm going to trust the process and stop playing a role that I was not called to do. I'm going to stop playing the role of something that I'm not worthy of. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to control. I'm not here to critique. I'm here to answer the call, whatever that may be. So I leave you with this. Find the battle that's most powerful that you're fighting right now. What is the biggest battle that you're fighting right now, internally or externally? Second, ask yourself, is it worth fighting for? Thirdly, put your trust in your belief system, faith, God, higher power, higher self, whatever that looks like, the vortex, the universe, whatever. And say, I'm surrendering and I'm putting it in your hands. I'm going to trust the process and find peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to be fighting something that is not, that we didn't sign up for, that we weren't called to do. So take this initiative today, whether it's a medical battle, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, sexual, cultural, societal, economical, and say, I am going to put my faith into my belief system, whatever that may be. And I'm going to find peace within my heart. Now I'm going to warn you and prepare you. Your ego on the other side is going to say, how dare you? How dare you not plan? How dare you not fight? How dare you? How dare you? We've been doing this. We've been on survival mode our entire lives. That's all we know. I'm saying to ground yourself with nature, your center, and your belief system, and say, I'm still here. I trust the process, and I know that everything is going to work out. And I encourage you, if you are concerned about stepping into this new being of yourself, connect with me, and I'm right here to walk beside you every step of the way. Remember, as I always say, as Don Shula says, the former NFL star, he says, it's the start that stops us. Don't live in survival mode. Don't strain yourself and don't exhaust your energy. Take the initiative, today and choose to press play. Plan life according to you. My name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice. Pardon the delay this morning. Thank you so much for being here. You can find this on playback, housed in my YouTube channel, Andrea Mason, From Victim to Victorious. I welcome the comments, the likes, the shares, subscribes. This really helps me and my business to help you even further and get you to the next level. Why? Because you're worth it. Thank you, warriors. I will see you. We got one more day in this week. I will see you bright and early as the sun is rising. All the elements are awakening. I am going to get grounded. I appreciate you. Surrender. You don't have to fight anymore. Find peace and trust the process. Again, my name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice, alumna of Les Brown and the CEO of Press Play, Plan Life According to You, LLC. Wishing you all my best. Tons of love, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Be safe, be well. Ciao.